So guys, welcome to my channel. Today I will prepare for a junior Linux tech support role, and so I hope that you will enjoy my video, and if you find the video useful, please don't forget to subscribe my channel. So let's start with the basic Linux concept. So to open a terminal, Ctrl-Alt-T, you basically open a terminal, and let's, for example, start with the basics of the terminal. So for example, you can see your working directory with pwd command, and for example you can list the files in this directory with ls. As you can see, ls shows all of the files in this directory. But if you want to see further information about the same command, you can check the manual of the same command with man. Man basically shows you the user manual of every command, so you can see the name of the function, the synopsis, and the description of the function. A shows all the files in the directory. With the capital E, it doesn't list the current directory and the previous directory. Author with L, print the author of each file. Escape. So print C style escapes for non-graphic characters. You can see like the block size. You can make it human readable with the H option. With L and S, print sizes like 1K to 34 megabytes to gigabytes, etc. So you can check every option that you can actually use to learn how to use this function. So let's quit it with the Q command, with the Q button. So let's see, if you want to list, as you can see, ls a displays all the files. As you can see, now we have the the directories are listed with the hidden directories with the dot extension is also listed here. Now ls l, now you can see the ownership as well. What was the L? Man ls. L was, let's see, what is L? Use a long listing format, so it uses a long listing format. And so okay, now let's get rid of it. ls la. Now as you can see, we can show the ownership of every file. This is our current directory, this is the previous directory. And so let's say if we would use la with the capital one, now if you check, we don't have the current directory and the previous directory, as you can see. So now let's get rid of this and let's clear the terminal. And now we can check actually for more useful information with lsla. As you can see, now we can see the ownership. So what is the D here? D, which means directory. So our current directory is a directory. So all of these files, we can see that if they are directory or not. D is the directory. As you can see, these are with the line. It's basically a file. It's basically a file, text file, or like a script that has a text. So now some of them, it's not here, but with the L, it's basically a linker. So now we can see that this first three letters, they are the users, like with the user permissions. You can basically read, write, and execute. And with the group ownership, you can just read and execute. You cannot write anything to it. With the other people, they can just read and execute and stuff. So the file ownership and the as you can see, there is this L here, which is basically a linker. So now let's close this. And so what would be the next? So we have a useful tool called grep. So what is grep? So let's see what's grep. Man grep. So grep, like print lines that match some patterns. So for example, grep searches for patterns in each file. Patterns is one or more patterns separated by new line characters, and grep prints each line that matches a pattern. Typically, patterns should be quoted when grep is used in a shell command. A file of lines stands for standard input. If no file is given, recursive searches Recursively searches examine the working directory, and non-recursive searches read standard input. So we can see the version with the line and capital V command. So there are like many options here. I will just try to stick, for example, ls was listing the files and the directories in the current working directory. So for example, you can grep from ls with the piping. So what is piping? So to explain piping, maybe I need to check the internet to show you like Linux piping. Linux piping, pipe. So I think this would explain. So this is the first command and the second command. So let's see. Now I want to list. This is my first command, right? With the piping option, I can basically connect these commands to achieve my desired result. So let's say I want to list stuff, and then I have a second command, grep, which takes, for example, it makes a recursive search in the current directory. So let's say I want to search for the txt file in the current directory. So ls grep txt, which will basically check all the files in the current directory with the txt extension. So you can search for everything basically. Ls grep, for example, I don't know, so let's say git. So I have a txt file, and there's a repo, and there's also the directory called my git repos. So let's clear the terminal again. As you can see, this is the piping. This is the first command, and you have the second command. You want to show something on the screen, but also you have to connect this showing something on the screen with another command to achieve your result. So there's also another picture. There's the process P. So two processes connected with a pipe. So I will take a look at the processes later. So let's close. So let's get rid of this one. So grep. So anyways, I connected the grep with the listing with the ls command. So, but we can also check what is actually grep command. So grep man grep. So usually when you check the manuals of functions, there's also like an example place that you can actually see. The following example outputs the location and contents of any line containing f and ending in .c within all files in the current directory whose names contain g and end in .h. So grep.n. What is the .n option? We can also check actually. So for example, man grep it shows all of like the manual of the grep function, and we can actually grep from this function, and we can check for L. So but this is let me show you. So we can pipe for only the L. So we can check the L's, for example, HC files with matches, and you can check for N also. Yeah, N. So the N option is, as you can see, line number. It shows line number. Prefix each line of output with the one baseline number within an input file, within its input file. So let's close this, clear the page. So grep, let's say in a directory, let's say I have a directory like this KO website, and there's the directory inside this directory called my site, and we can actually grep, let's grep for like everything that starts with CSS. No such file or directory. Maybe CSS is wait a minute. Okay, so I had a problem there. Man grep. So let me see. Example. Okay. So grep the option. Okay, let's open a new terminal. grep option, we want to have a recursive search. So we have actually let's quit this. That is the R option, recursive. So I want to make a recursive search, grep R, right? Grep R. Let's close this one. And where is it? Yeah, option, the patterns. Which patterns I am actually looking for? Actually, I'm looking for like, so for example, let's say I'm looking for something that something.css, let's say, in this folder. In an example section, manual and grep. Where is the example section? So yeah, this is the pattern. Like for example, instead of doesn't show anything in this directory, I'm looking for n r, let's say can't. Yeah, as you can see, like you actually got a search, you got to make the search with so nar, let's say CSS. So but we want to see the line numbers as well, so let's say L and R, clear. We want to see the line number as well, in which line the research text, yeah, this is the files with matches. So let's make a man grep line number, so it's n. So we gotta make the research with the n recursively, nr. So now we have the line number. So now, as you can see in this website, my site about page templates, about page.html is 1078 line. There is something called like stuff CSS, and so let's clear it. Let's get rid of this as well. Let's close it. So we also have the find command. So find command is, we can also check the find command, man find. This search for files in a directory hierarchy. This manual page documents the GNU version of find. GNU file researches directory tree rooted at each given starting point by evaluating the given expression from left to right. So anyways, as you can see, there are some like options that you can use to execute this command. So let's check. Find, you want to search in a directory something, right? So if you don't remember any command, you can also grep from the history. So history grep, let's say find. So as you can see, these are the all I mean in the past, I was building a website, so I was using this find command to check some stuff. So as you can see, what kind of find, in which ways I have actually searched for this. So as you can see that I had find in a directory with the name that like this. So if you try like find, the directory that you're going to execute this command is like website, and my site is just a directory, and you want to give something that CSS, like every file that ends with .css, the CSS files, and with the print option, with only one line, the print option, as you can see, look, wait a minute, okay, yeah, so fine, as you can see with the name option. So I'm not sure which one I actually made a good research. Every CSS file, This gives every file and no such directory, so maybe we're gonna make the research like this. No. History, grep find in this directory, .css, .print. So you can actually check from the internet, like for example, like you can basically search. Also you can check from, we can check from like man and find. Yeah, there are many options, as you can see, examples. Find in this directory, find in the current directory, the type and the file name. This F option is it's the regular file. So you can find command the path, the options and the expression. Find, this is the stuff that you're searching, and you're searching for a name and you are searching for this text, for example. So let's try it. Quit. So yeah, so we are searching find in this directory with the name .css. So yeah, as you can see, I don't know, yeah, I was just using in the reverse order, so you gotta put this, and I mean there's also the print option. Yeah, it basically gives the same output, but what was the print? Man and find. We can grep for man, find, grep for print. Now we have everything. Print quoting is handled in the same way as for printf and fprintf. If you are using find in a script or in a situation where the matched files might have arbitrary names, you should consider using print 0 instead of print. Always print the exact file name unchanged, even if the output is going to be going to a terminal. Okay, so as you can see, with the print, you can see an example in the current directory with the name that ends with .c. So find, let's say, in this directory with the name as you can see, we put this clear. Let's check the previous command. We put this with the single quotes, but we can actually have something like this, .css and print. Yeah, as you can see now, we have all of the directories that have something with .css. So let's clear this. And so, for example, we can check like every directory from the current one with the name, with something that ends with like HTML and print. As you can see, we have a lot of files. We have a lot of HTML files. HTML files for some software, STM32 software. It has some like HTML files to have a link, for example, to a website, or some like sample websites downloaded from internet. So, and after that we have some like config files, and yeah, so this, yeah, as you can see, this is the website I was building. It has some like HTML files. Anyways, let's see what is so yeah, and one of the most important things as well is am I actually recording? Yes, still recording. And for example, one of the most important things is like editing stuff. So for example, you may have a directory. Let's check if the directory in our workspace. So in our home directory, so as you can see, we are in home and user directory. So we can basically move to another directory with change directory command. With change directory, let's say I want to move to let's say I want to move to somewhere, I really don't know, like let's say S7697, and I move to this directory, and this directory there is another directory, okay? And so for example, we can check this directory like this. As you can see, 4000. We can make it like human readable. ls yep, now as you can see, I put the human readable stuff, and this kilobytes, like this stuff is now in kilobytes. So 4000 stuff, 4000 byte and stuff, and but it shows as kilobytes. So that's a really good option to use to see the real size of the directories. So anyways, and let's open a new directory. To make a new directory, you have the make directory command. So make directory, let's say sample directory. Now we made a sample directory. You can check if we have a sample directory with I mean, you can probably see it's somewhere here, A B C D E K A L M N O P R S C, as you can sample directory. To see if we have if we really have it, list grep sample directory. Yes, we have something like sample directory. So let's move to this directory, change directory to sample directory. Now we are in the sample directory. You can check the home, user, and the sample directory. Now let's make a new file. We can create a new file with, like, for example, let's say vim, and the name of the file is sample file.txt. Now we have the vim terminal. Vim screen is opened. Right now we are in insertion mode. With the ask, we are in. So in vim we have like many options. We are with the when you press the ask, when you press the I button, you are in insertion mode. When you press the ask button, you're not in insertion mode. So you can basically like traverse the screen, do some stuff. So for example, I press the I'm in insertion mode. I am in insertion. I'm in insertion mode. That. So for example, now insertion mode. To get rid of insertion mode and basically to move in the screen, you press the S button, and for example with Shift I you go to the beginning. So with Shift A you go to the end. So let's Shift plus I, you basically go to the beginning of a line. I and Shift A. So with Shift A, let's take this one and let's put here. But this time with Shift A, you go basically to the end of a line. To the end of a line. So Shift I, I'm in the beginning. Shift A, I'm in the end. So anyways, what else? You can basically yank and copy and paste stuff. So for example, now we are in insertion mode. Let's get out of the insertion mode with the S key. Go to the line. To go up and down, you need, for example, with K, you go up right? I press the K, 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 you go up. J, you go down. K, 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 J, 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 J. So with L, you go right. So L, 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 L. And with, so let's see, with H, it's like a reflex after some time, so you go left. Go left. So to copy stuff, so for example, when you're not in insertion mode, when you press V key, now it's in visual, you can see visual, you press the L button to go to the right, you see, you go right. And when you press Y now, you basically yanked it, and to paste it, you use P, so I pasted it. And to delete it, when you're not in insertion mode, you basically press D. Yeah, we got rid of the line now. So visual mode, you can copy stuff, and when you are in visual mode, you go left and right, and then you copy with Y, yank it, basically copy it, and with P, you paste it. So what else we have? So let's have a text. I am just an ordinary text. I have nothing unusual. So I'm not in insertion mode. My mouse. So I'm not in insertion mode. So Shift I, I'm in the beginning. Now I'm in insertion mode. If you press V, so now in visual mode. So let's go to another word. So W, I press W, you see? I move to the beginning of every word, basically word. I have nothing unusual. To go to the back, how we go to the back? So, and word. With E, you go to the end. E, end. You go to the end of the word. So you go to the beginning with the word, but let's say you want to go in the reverse order. So how do you do that? So, so let's see. There are a lot of commands. It's like to get rid of it, to get rid of this Vim. How do you get rid of it? You press the ESC. So shift these two like semicolons, and now you have some options. So how do you exit it? So with ZZ, you save the current changes to the file and exit from V. You save the current file but continue editing with this small W. So WQ the same. You just save it and then you quit it. Q quits the current file, but the work that you have only if you don't have any unsaved changes. If you don't have any unsaved changes. So and quit, and with the Q and this stuff with the exclamation mark, you quit the current file and don't save the changes you just made to the file. So it's not a good option. So now we will W and Q, quit it. Let's see our file. We have the sample file.txt. So let's see this file with the Vim sample file.txt. You can see our file. And so for example, what else? I mean, there are actually a lot of options, and I know a lot of it, but there's still, it's like a very hard thing to adapt. And so anyways, you go to W, you go to the end. So I actually forgot something to tell to you. For example, you want to change I'm still recording, I suppose. yeah, I'm still streaming. That's a good thing. So you want to change, let's say, this E to R. So how do you do that? You press R and you press C. So with the R you change stuff when you press R. Let's say A, I make it A. You come here and you press R, you place E, and it changes, and you get rid of with the ESC. So R, you change something in a position. So guys, I have my English is not good, so I'm just doing my best. Anyways, so for example, you can research from internet, like you can open ChatGPT. If you have any problems, you can just ask how to move, for example, to the beginning of a previous line of a previous word in Vim with Vim key bindings. So press B in normal mode. So let's try. So not in insertion mode, we are in normal mode. So word. Let's press B. Yes. Now we are at the beginning of the previous word. So now you can basically we can come here and tell beginning of a previous word. Okay, so to move to the beginning of the previous word, press B. To move to the beginning of the nth previous word, press N followed by B for the second previous word. Okay, so for example, you can basically word. You can basically B to B. To B. Okay, word. Let's say 6B. So word 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now if you press 6B, now we are at the beginning, and so you press N, number of steps to go back, and with NB, you go back N steps. So what was my previous stuff? So you can basically ask the same question, this time with beginning, ending of a previous word. G in normal mode. So for example, word, G, word, let's say 5GE. So something like that. So GE to go back to the ending. So NGE, you go back N steps. Anyways, so let's see what we have. I really recommend the book Linux Bible. I have somewhere here, I think. I was using this book a long time ago. Where is it? Yeah. So yeah, you can see. Yeah, deleting stuff. Actually, I didn't gone into that. Yeah, I said delete stuff, but I didn't type it, I think. Let's make this like this. Okay. Let's make this like 70%. And I don't see any D here. So for example, when you come here and when you press D 2 times, it gets rid of it. So edit. So as you can see, I didn't save the changes with GE and stuff, so they are actually gone. As you can see, we have GE and we had GE2, so we don't have them now. So B, go to the end of the previous word. Try word, B, go to the beginning of the previous word. GE, and go to the end of the previous word. W, so we made some changes. So W moves the cursor to the beginning of the next word. What's this? I really don't know what's this. This is the whim, yeah. So moving around in the text, we said to the beginning of, moves the cursor to the beginning of the current line, moves the cursor to the end of the current line, to the upper left corner of the screen. So H, capital H is also very useful. Then we can move to the capital H. We are on the left side. So what was it doing? Moves the cursor to the upper left corner of the screen. So let's see. H, insertion mode, capital 1, moves the cursor to the upper left part of the screen. Okay, so W, and what we have, moves the cursor to the first character of the middle line on the screen. So what is the middle line? Let's see. Capital M, it's the middle line. So for example, if you want to make some changes somewhere up, instead of pressing K many times, or pressing K and pressing down the button for a long time, we can basically press capital M to go to the middle part of your middle part of the screen, or the terminal if you like. And so with the L, with the capital L, capital M was going to the middle of the screen, right? You see? The first character of the middle line of the screen. Moves the cursor to the first, what is it? To the first character, first character of the middle line of the screen, of the middle line on the screen. With L, what's happening with the L? C, to the lower left corner. Let's see. We are in normal mode, capital L. So you see, what is it? Moves go to the lower left corner of the screen, last line on the screen. But from here, for example, if you press L, it goes to the here. M, capital M, it's capital, right? In the middle. H, up. H, but from here it should go somewhere else. There is also one important thing. I don't want to get out of here. Yes. Moves the cursor to the left corner on the screen. Okay, there's also very important concept. We can make a research from here, going back like reverse. No. There is v commands, it processes, defines. I actually insert command. I moves the cursor arrow keys, deletes the character under the cursor. X deletes the character under the cursor. So we can basically, if you want to delete this it's T, right? You can basically, in normal mode, you can come on it, insertion mode. It's insertion mode, normal mode, control. I want to delete this T. I can X and it's gone. So X we can add here, insertion, X deletes the character, it deletes the character basically. What we have, delete some text, D, changes some text, yanks some text, we check those out. And so quit the current file, press U to undo the previous change you made. These are important. Press U to undo the previous change you made. Continue to press U to undo the change before that and the one before that. So for example, we made the changes here. Let's say we are in insertion mode, and now if you press U, it's gone. So it's gone. So if you didn't want to undo the previous command, so Control R, we got it again. So here, U to go back into the previous change. But if you didn't like this change and you want to reverse it on the screen, you can say Control R. So undoing the previous change we have made. So you can say Control R. We are in insertion mode. Get rid of it. So it should not be insertion. Go made. WQ. So anyways, ls la, as you can see, we have 3 files here: .txt, .swo, and .swp. So what are these files? If you really don't know anything about you can basically ask, like, what are these .swo and .swp files? Apple Text Editor, it's a swap file. A file with the .swo extension is a swap file created by Vim. When you are editing a file, the purpose of a swap file is to store changes made during editing in case Vim or the system crashes. When you open a file with Vim, it creates a corresponding swap file with the same name as the original file but with the .swo extension. Once you save and close the file, the swap file is typically deleted. So then we had a problem with this file. So we can open the Vim sample file.txt, edit anyway, and quit the file. Now check it. Okay, so I checked with this option. So when you want to open the sample file again, found the swap file by the name sample file that takes swp, never then swap file. And the program may edit the same file. If this is the case, be careful not to end up with the two different instances. So recover, and we say quit. So I mean, we had a problem with attention, found a swap file, which means we actually didn't quit it. We didn't quit it properly. So we need to open it with ZZ. Okay, now let's check it. Yeah, we still have it, but when we open it, okay, recover, let's say. Enter number of swap file to use, or 0 to quit. Yes. Quit. ls, la. Yeah, we still have it. Anyways, this was like a short introduction to the Vim. So now we can check actually to managing some processes. So in addition to being a multi-user operating system, Linux is also a multitasking system. Multitasking means that many programs can be running at the same time. An instance of a running program is referred to as a process. Linux provides tools for listing running processes, monitoring system usage, and stopping or killing processes when necessary. So one of the basic commands with, let's get rid of this, with the processes is, for example, you can type ps. When you type the ps, what we have a bash, which is our terminal, and the command we just typed. So, but we can check every process with all U and human readable. So for example, we can see that there are like 4. This is that I typed, and there are like 2 different processes in TTY2 executable library. One of these is I think it's so in TTY this is the type of the connection. So anyways, so you can basically type man.ps, report a snapshot of the current process, displays information about the selection of the active processes. If you want a repetitive update of the selection and display information, use top instead. So ps, and there are like some options. Select all processes, okay. And what we have, user list. We want to see the user and the ID of the processes. And so you can basically search for ps, all user stuff, and x. But it's quite long, and we have the user, the PID number, and TTY, and some command, and you cannot even see. We can see the PID numbers. So you can use this and grep for example bash. As you can see, we have this one. I just typed it, so we have the bash. It's open now, and this grep color auto bash. And I have only this one. So for example, we can check like ps aux grep Firefox. Yeah, many stuff. So because it works on threads, and with the sudo command ps aux grep, let's use with the sudo command. Yeah, there's also, apart from ps, there is also htop. This is like much interactive. You can press F1 for help. htop, it's like it shows the processes, any key to return. F2 setup, search. For example, you can press F3 and the search place opens, so you can basically search for OBS. I'm recording something, so you can see PIDs and the users and OBS, you can see a lot of them. It sorts for the CPU time, so the CPU time is here. It sorts with the most CPU time. GNOME shell, this is it's basically htop works, so we can press F3 again and search for htop. Yeah, you can see we have htop here, it works. And we have bash. I mean, the most CPU time is basically is the one that it works. So for example, to kill a process, so you can, I don't know what to kill, so maybe this Linux book is open, so we can, for example, check what is that. So, and then we can kill it. We can learn the process ID and we can kill this process. Target journal, not this one. We can, for example, use where is it? Search. We need to search for what we need to search for. Linux Bible. I'm not sure if it's gonna list. Yeah, as you can see, Awin's home. It takes some CPU time, right? F9, and we need to use the signal. Yep, it's gone. It's gone. It was here, but now it's not there. OBS still streaming. That's good. So now we closed it with killing it. When we open it, Linux Bible, when we open this and when we search for it, yeah, it's here. It doesn't take much CPU stuff, but it takes some memory and stuff. So F10 to quit it, but this is also actually, you can create like close this terminal with your mouse click. F10 click, it's closed. And listing the processes with PS. And okay, many processes running on a computer are not associated with a terminal. A normal Linux system has many processes running in the background. A background system process performs such tasks as logging system activity or listening for data coming in from the network. They often started when Linux boots up and run continuously until the system shuts down. To page through all the processes running on your Linux system for the current user, add the pipe and list command to PX, to PSUX. To page through all processes running for all users on your system, use the PSUX command as shown here. And you can basically man PS, and we can grep for less. What is this less? Printing the header unless, not this one. Standard man PS, we can grep for I mean, there are really a lot of options here. We can check one with the less and a start L session. We can make a search. For example, you can always ask ChatGPT, what is less in PS aux less? That was the command. So in command, let's say pager utility that allows you to wave the output of the PS command on the screen at a time. So yeah, it's a really good option. We can try that. So PS AUX less. So now it shows, like when you enter it, you can now move on the other processes easily. Q to quit. There is also, for example, the process ID, PID, username, user ID, group name, group ID, virtual memory allocated FFVSC, resident memory used RSS, and the full command line that was run. By default, output is sorted by process ID number. So, yep, it's like a normal process is like this, displaying running processes with top. There's also the top command. I show htop, this top command. Htop is a bit much more visually better. So now let's see. We can basically do like this. This is the system uptime. Where is it? Top. This is the up. This is the system uptime. One user. This is the load, average system load. This one. Tasks 387. One running, 385 sleeping. One zombie. And allocated memory, vart. It's the allocated memory. We can actually make this like human readable. Q top with human readable stuff. Top HV. Top. Yeah, so how to, for example, how to display top human readable, how to display top in human readable for file sizes. Sort CPU. Okay. I mean, you can search for example, man top. And here, batch mode, command line, problem delay time, enforce task threads, idle process toggle, number of iterations of the field names, secure cumulative toggle. I mean, memory usage. In the alternate memory display modes, the abbreviated summary lines are shown consisting of these elements. So I want actually in this format, not in this format. Or wait a minute. So then we need to call with man top v. Anyways, sort by memory use, sort by CPU use, memory actually in use, and allocated memory. Press M to sort by memory usage instead of CPU, and then press P to return to sorting by CPU. So we press M, and now it's in memory usage. For example, this isolated web stuff uses a lot of memory. And for P, and then where is it? Sorts by memory. Caps lock P sorts by CPU, memory, CPU, memory, CPU. And listing processes with system monitor. Yeah, we also have the system monitor. Quit this one. Clear and close this terminal. System monitor. Yeah, something like this, but we need to see the processes. Now By default, only running processes associated with your user account are displayed. Those processes are listed alphabetically as first. You can resort the process by clicking on any of the field headings, forward and reverse. For example, click the CPU heading to see which processes are consuming the most processing power. Click the memory heading to see which processes consume the most memory. So now we can see CPU, OBS, most CPU, it takes the most CPU time, and then the GNOME shell, and then the GNOME system monitor, which is open now, and the Firefox then. So let's see who takes the first memory. Isolated web stuff, and it has an ID. Okay, and this memory keeps growing. It's Firefox. Yeah. Anyways, you can stop process from here as well. Like for example, this is, what is it? It's Evans, right? If you kill it, yes, kill this process. Now we don't have, our PDF file is gone. Now we can open it. I'm still streaming. And okay, foreground and background processes, and okay, starting background processes. So Linux files and disk systems. I was actually like checking for file system, the text files, processes, writing simple shell scripts, 145, 145. We can move to this page. If a shell script is a group of commands, functions, variables, or just about anything else you can use from a shell. These items are typed into a plain text file. That file can then be run as a command. Most Linux systems use system initialization shell scripts during system startup to run commands needed to get services going. You can create your own shell scripts to automate the tasks you need to do regularly. So actually shell scripts allow us to, instead of like manually creating a directory, putting some files on it, like making some changes, searching for something in a file, you can basically have some like shell scripts to automate these processes for you. So this chapter provides a rudimentary overview of the inner workings of the stuff. I'll just, like for example, shell variables. I think it's the better way is to check online. Let's close this one. So for example, shell scripts, like let's say shell tutorial or bash tutorial. For example, bash shell scripting tutorial. A shell script is a computer program designed to be run by the Linux shell, which could be one of the following: the Bourne shell, the C shell, the Corn shell, GNU Bourne again shell. So our shell is the bash. So it's basically Bourne shell. A shell is a command line interpreter, and typical operations performed by the shell scripts include file manipulation, program execution, and printing text. Extended shell scripts. Shell scripts have several required constructs that tell the shell environment what to do and when to do it. Of course, most scripts are more complex than the above one. So, for example, to be able to execute a shell script, you need to have this stuff. So let's say, and we have a make directory. It was called the sample directory, right? Change directory to sample directory.